27, 28, not guilty.
Those were the honest services fraud charges.
And 28, a call between McGregor and another Alabama gambling facility owner. Those are not guilty. 29, 30, call between McGregor and Coker about Pruitt's vote, not guilty. Count 31 is blank. 32, not guilty. 33, not guilty.
That's another one of the honest services fraud counts against Tom Coker. So what's the recap on Tom Coker?
But to attempt to bribe Pruitt, some of these have been left blank. McGregor trying to bribe Ross, not guilty. And the honest services charges, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those as not guilty. Call between McGregor and Senator Bedford about gathering votes for the bill, not guilty. Call between Gilley and Smith about gathering votes on the bill, not guilty.
Okay, Bob Getty is up. Count 1, conspiracy. That's the big overarching charge, not guilty. Bob Getty. The honest services fraud charges 23, 24, 25, and 26, not guilty. 27 through 31 counts again, honest services fraud, not guilty for Bob Getty. 32 and 33, not guilty for Bob Getty. And the obstruction of justice charge is still pending. That's count number 39. And 39, not guilty for Bob Getty. And that is all for Bob Getty. So again, cleared on all counts for Bob Getty. I believe, is Larry Means coming up next? Right, Larry Means, state senator, caught up in the FBI investigation, accused of bribery, extortion, the honest services fraud charges also against him. We'll find out momentarily how this went. The conspiracy charge will be first. Count 1, conspiracy against Larry Means has been left blank, which count 6 is also blank by the jury, meaning no decision. 7, on bribery, not guilty, soliciting money from Milton McGregor. Extortion, count 19, not guilty for Larry Means. 20, not guilty for Larry Means, pressuring Gilley, Massey, and Pouncey for $100,000. The honest services counts against Larry Means 23 and 24, not guilty. 25, honest services, and this will be the remaining charges, not guilty on 25. Count 26, 27, 26, 27, not guilty. 28, not guilty. 29, not guilty. We have 3 more counts of honest services fraud. 30, not guilty against Larry Means. 31, not guilty. We have 2 remaining. Those are honest services fraud counts. 32, not guilty, and 33, not guilty. So that is the way it is run. Those are the charges against Larry Mean, and with the exception of the charges where he was found with no decision, he is cleared.
Jim Pruitt, we have Jim Pruitt, Quentin Ross, Harriet Smith, and Jim Pruitt is next.
The first count against Pruitt will be conspiracy. That's the big, as we said, the overarching charge that many of the defendants were charged with. And we're waiting now.
Count 1 is blank. Count 9 is blank. Soliciting $2 million from McGregor, Gilley, Massey, Coker, Walker, and Pouncey. 22, not guilty, pressuring McGregor, Gilley, Massey, Coker, Walker, Pouncey for $2 million. 23, not guilty, and that is one of the honest services fraud charges. 24, 25, not guilty, again, the honest services fraud charges. 26, not guilty. 27, not guilty. 28, not guilty, and that is a call between McGregor and another Alabama gambling facility owner. 29, not guilty, call between McGregor and Coker about Pruitt's vote. 30, not guilty. 31, not guilty, call between McGregor and Coker about Pruitt's vote. 32, not guilty, call between McGregor and Senator Bedford about gathering votes for the bill, and that one is also not guilty. 33, not guilty, call between Gilly Smith about gathering votes for the bill. And now we're waiting on 38, and 38 is blank. And that is a charge of lying to the FBI in April of 2010.
Yeah, making a false statement. Quentin Ross, state senator from Montgomery, accused of conspiracy, bribery, extortion, and honest services fraud counts. He will be next. The jury's decisions there. He faces 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 honest services fraud charges. 1 count of conspiracy, 2 bribery, 2 extortion. Conspiracy, not guilty for Quentin Ross. That was count number 1, conspiracy, not guilty. A bribery charge, soliciting and agreeing to accept $20,000 from Gillian Massey, not guilty. Count 12, another bribery count for Quentin Ross, also not guilty. The extortion charge, count 17, not guilty against Quentin Ross. 18, also a not guilty for Quentin Ross. Now we're going to run into the string of honest services fraud charges. Count 23, not guilty. 24, not guilty. 25, not guilty. 26, the same, not guilty. 27, not guilty. Now we're waiting for count 28, call between McGregor and another Alabama gambling facility owner. Not guilty for Quentin Ross on 28. Count 29, not guilty. 30, not guilty. Honest services fraud charges here. 31, not guilty. 32, not guilty. And finally, the last honest services fraud charge, count 33, not guilty. He is cleared. So you are listening to the verdicts as they're being read in the courtroom, relayed to us from our team in the federal courthouse right now. We move on to State Senator Harry Ann Smith of Slocum, charged with conspiracy, bribery, extortion, and a series of honest services fraud. Harry Ann Smith, again from down from Slocum in the Wiregrass.